All right, I want to go over these answers. 1 through 9. There are 9 questions. And at the end, I want you to have a total out of 9. So make sure you're tallying them up. If you miss 2 of them, then you would have a 7 out of 9 as your score. This is not for a grade. I want to relax you with that. It is not for a grade. So if it isn't for a grade, and I'm asking you to be honest, it's okay if you got it wrong, but I need you to indicate if you got it wrong, and I want you to put the correct answer. So make sure you are marking the answers wrong if you got them wrong. It is not for a grade, so relax. These scores are low. These questions are high. These questions are examples of what the AIR state test questions will look like. And that is what we are practicing. Me really just trying to kind of every once in a while, this is not an everyday task, but every once in a while, letting you see how the questions will be worded and what they're going to look like is what we'll discuss right now. All right, so make sure that you have something to write with to mark your answers wrong, and let's go over these. In question number 1, it was asking you to go back to paragraph 12, and you're using context clues to try and guess what the answer is. And I know you guys have done this before. Using context clues is a very common skill that you've been practicing for a while, so hopefully you had the correct answer, C. I've been seeing a lot of kids get number 1 right. It's number 2 that has been catching some kids up here. Number 2 is an antonym, and if you overlooked this and it didn't catch your eye, or perhaps you don't know what an antonym is, then this one might have caused you some problems. Really, the other 3, honestly, could practically be synonyms. So the only one that means the opposite, hence the prefix right there, the dis, would definitely be disobedience. So the answer is B for number 2. So go ahead and fix your answer if you need to. Number 3, examples of groups concerned about food advertising to children include D, all of the above. So this one, I kind of went through and checked them off. I was like, yep, A works. I went back through the article and I looked through the article for these terms, and when I found them, I checked them off with 3 check marks. That led me to the correct answer of D. So change your answer if you had that one wrong. Number 4, which statement best supports food industry representatives' claims that they have become less aggressive? So I underline that to remind myself what I'm looking for, less aggressive in marketing. And look, the nice thing about this, and AIR will do this, they tell you guys where to go and look. So all this involves, honestly, is you not being lazy. You need to go back to paragraph 4 and see if this shows it being less aggressive. Same with this one and same with all of them. If you did that, you would come to the answer D. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Which statement best supports why advertisers continue to market to children despite the criticism? So despite meaning even though, so despite them, even though there's criticism. B was the best answer. Again, look at what they're doing. They're telling you where to go and look. So I went and I looked for these answers and I found them in the text. And when you actually take the time to do that, you're able to rule out the other ones. And, hopefully you're crossing things out and you're using process of elimination to help you get to the right answers. Okay. Number 6. Let's take a look at that. Which statement does not support the central idea of the passage? So the first thing you have to do, honestly, is decide what the main idea is. And if you don't do that first, I don't know how you rule out the one that does not. So clearly, this was about, junk food and childhood obesity. So you need to find something that does not support that. Today's children spend more time in front of a computer, television, and game screens than any other activity in their lives except sleeping. Look, this one is the only one where obesity being a problem would be implied because they're sitting and not having physical activity, but it doesn't come straight out and say that. So A, children are rarely exposed to public service announcements or advertising for healthier food. So we're advertising junk food too much. Well, that supports it. So that won't work. Marketers often provide brand-related items that can be downloaded or printed and saved. So this is showing how it is happening. So that's not going to work. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention predicts if current trends continue, 1 in 3 adults will have diabetes. That's a sign of too much junk food. That won't work. So the only one that kind of does not support it would be D. All right, let's look at number 7. According to the passage, one-way television advertising is different from online advertising is A, parents can move easily, say no to their children when they want items advertised on television. So according to the passage, one-way television advertising is different from online. Different from online, comparing television to online. So I kind of have to remind myself what I'm looking for. Well, parents can more easily, say no to their children when they want items advertised on television. Doesn't really compare anything to online. So that won't work. Television programming has regulations in place regarding advertising to children. Well, that would work. C, television commercials do not market food items. That won't work. And we know it's not none above. So this was kind of easy. So B, hopefully you had that one. Plus it says it in the text. Remember, if you go back into the text, you're going to help yourself out to confirm any of these answers that you think you might know. All right, number 8. Okay, so this one was kind of hard to see, but here is where number 8's question is. It's only right here. Choose the statement. In other words, I wish I don't like how this was worded. I feel like it should have been choose a sentence, choose a statement, I guess, okay, that best supports the claim that food marketers have never been able to bypass parents so successfully. Okay, you have to understand what the word bypass parents means. To bypass your parents, if you bypass anything, like let's say you're driving down the road and a tree is in the middle of the road and you bypass it, it means you go around it. It was blocking you, but you have found a way to go around it. Therefore, you have bypassed it. All right, so how have marketers, make this comparison, how have they been able to go around parents blocking these horrible constant advertisements for their kids? Some parents limit your technology time. Some parents say, you're not allowed on these whatever sites, but marketers are still finding you. Marketers are still finding a way to get to you guys, to the kids, and they are bypassing you. Okay, or sorry, the parents. They are bypassing the parents. They're going around the parents. So let's look for that same kind of saying. All right, if I skim through this passage, the internet has no such regulations. All right, but that doesn't mean, that's not about parents though, right? These sites and ads are becoming part of children's daily digital journeys. I don't see anything about parents. Because they are online, this advertising often flies under the radar. There it is. They fly under the radar of parents and policy makers. Bypassing parents is the exact same comparison as flying under the radar. The parents don't notice it, it flies under their radar. It goes unnoticed. Planes pop up on a radar in the sky. Okay, so it's noticed. But if it flies under the radar, if it's not noticed, then that's the same as the parents, that it's been bypassed. They found a way around the parents. So make sure the last sentence is highlighted. All right, let's take a look at number 9. Number 9 is asking you which of the following statements would not be an effective counter argument for food industry representatives accused of marketing to children. All right, a couple key words here that I have to remember. I'm looking for something that is not going to be an effective, what's a counter argument? Well, a counter argument is when you go against something for food in the food industry. So as you can see, look, I kind of changed my mind, right? Do you see where I kind of gave one answer and then I erased it and I decided that this one right here would be the best choice. So hopefully you picked the first choice for number 9, because that is the one that would not be an effective counter argument for food industries. Companies hope to build ties with young consumers. Okay, they're not after that. So that would be the best answer. All right, so you got a score of 9. This is when I want you to go up to the top of your page and give yourself a score. Remember, it's okay. Maybe you had a low number. Maybe you only got 2 out of 9 right. And I want you to bring this to my top basket that is on my desk. I want you to pause the video and do that right now. After you turn it into the top basket, come back and unpause the video, and I'll give you more directions. So hit pause, go turn this in to the top basket, come back and hit unpause, and I'll give you the next step. All right. Go ahead and get your Springboard book out of your backpack, and I want you to turn to page 94. In page 94, you're going to go through the article. We read this on Friday, so you've already read this article, and you're going to write your answers for the question I'm going to show you. You're going to write your answers right here in the notes section, and I want you to come up with at least 4 ways that marketers are reaching children. How are they getting to you guys? Let me say this again. You're going to write down, and these are very short answers. We're talking a word or 2. Let me say that again. I want your answers to be only a word or 2. I'm going to give you a 5th one right now as an example. One way that marketers are reaching children is by repetition. They are repeating things over and over. They are finding you. The volume in which they are selling things to you is redundant. It's over and over. It's a high volume of whatever technique they're using. It's in high volumes. You see how general my answer is? It's like one word. So make sure that when you pick the 4 ways that marketers are seeking out and finding kids, how are they getting to you? They are selling these products to you, and they are finding you in these ways. So you're going to look for short answers. Honestly, I would look at your headings, your text features, look at captions around pictures, because text features can help you find general, short, like one-worded answers. How are they finding kids? How are they selling? How are they getting to you to show you their advertisements? Okay, they are seeking you out. Who's doing this? How are they doing this? So I want 4 answers right here, and then we'll discuss these in class. So when you're done, I think what I'm going to have you do is put your iPad in the cart. That way I'll know you're done. So go ahead and stop the video, work on these answers, find 4, and when you're done, you're going to let me know you're done by putting your iPad and your earphones back away for the day.